Today, we are going to talk about ERP systems, and there are 4 parts to the series, and this part is on ERP system fundamentals. When, why, and how to implement. Your company hit $25 million in revenue, but your month-end close, it takes 3 weeks. Your inventory data is in 3 different spreadsheets, and your sales team, they cannot see if the products are actually available to ship. Sound familiar? You have outgrown your existing systems. Today, I'm explaining when ERP implementation, they become critical and how to approach it without destroying your business. I'm a finance executive. I've worked in the Silicon Valley for 30 years as head of finance, CFO, and I've implemented a number of ERP systems over the years. And I'm going to share with you some of the learnings that I've gleaned over the years. ERP systems, by the way, they can transform your business, positively, your business operations, or it can become expensive disasters if they're implemented poorly. Understanding when you need ERP and how to approach the implementation can save you millions and months of operational chaos. The mindset is important at this point. The ERP systems, they integrate all your business processes into a single unified platform. And what does it do? It looks at your core modules and it connects them. The core module could be finance, it could be operations, it could be sales, it could be inventory, HR, customer management systems, warehouse management systems. And instead of separate tools that don't talk to each other, everything flows through an integrated module. And what happens? All the real-time data is flowing. When sales creates an order, inventory automatically updates, finance sees a revenue impact, and operation knows what to ship. No more manual updates across multiple systems. There is also the process standardization. ERP forces you to document and standardize the business processes. And this creates consistency, it reduces errors, and it enables better training and scaling. There are certain key ERP advantages when you implement ERP. One, it creates operational efficiency. It eliminates duplicate data across the systems. It automates the routine processes like order to cash. It reduces the manual reconciliation and reporting time. It improves the accuracy through a single source of truth. Then there's a second component, which is more on the financial control and reporting side. It increases real-time financial visibility. It automates compliance and it creates audit trails. It integrates budgeting and forecasting. And it also ensures a faster month-end close process. 3, it also serves as a scalability and growth support. It will handle transaction volumes, increase transaction volumes. It will support multi-location, multi-currency operations. It will enable rapid business process replication. And it also accommodates new business models as it evolves. There's a 4th element, which is the data-driven decision-making. And that is around comprehensive business intelligence and analytics. It looks at cross-functional performance visibility, and it provides predictive analytic capabilities. It also allows you to automatically track KPIs and create notifications. But with that comes disadvantages and risks. It's very complex, 12 to 24-month implementation cycles, significant business process disruption. There is a high risk of project failure or delays, and it requires extensive change management. There's a cost consideration you have to look into account, which is software licensing can be over 50 to 500K annually. Your implementation services could be 2 to 4x the software cost. Your internal resource allocation could be 20 to 50% maybe of team time. Your ongoing maintenance and support cost is pretty high. And then there are flexibility limitations. It's difficult to customize without breaking upgrades. It may force certain suboptimal business processes to come live. And there are integration challenges with specialized tools or third-party tools. And you have a vendor lock-in and dependency. That's a big one. So when do you implement ERP? When your revenue is around 15 to 25, that's a good time, $15 to $25 million. When you're dealing with multiple locations or business units. When you have complex inventory or manufacturing operations. When regulatory compliance requirements are pretty high and complex. So what are the operational triggers, that drives this mindset? You close the month end within 10 days. You avoid multiple data entry. You ensure that inventory accuracy is there. You kind of limit the customer service matters as much as you can. There are strategic triggers, to ensure that the ERP system will grow with the business. And there are board requirements of certain packages and information that has to be readily available to the folks that are consuming the data from the ERP system. So with that said, who do you involve in the ERP selection in the first place? You have to get a sponsor, an exec sponsor, at a very high level, maybe a COO. Okay, maybe a CFO, maybe even the CEO in this particular case. The CFO, they provide the financial requirements, all of the core integration elements. They work closely with the IT director, who provides the technical architecture and security guidance. You have the operations manager is working with workflow and process design. You have the HR director that's working with talent management and payroll. And then you have the field level reps like the salespeople. They know the CRM elements, the CRM integration and order management. You work with the field level marketing people on lead tracking and campaign management. You work with the procurement department who's working with vendor management and purchasing. You might even work with customer service and dealing with case management and support. You also have to tap into external resources. You have an ERP consultant who helps you to select the system and kind of guide you through the implementation. You have change management specialists come in who provide the training and the adoption in the company. You have data migration specialists who move data from old system to the new system. So there are different phases, in implementation. You have the definition phase. Document the current processes and pain points. Define the future state business requirements. Establish the success criteria and ROI expectations. Create a vendor evaluation criteria. That is very important because that is the phase 2 of it, right? Where you send out the RFP, you look at the vendor demos, you make reference calls, you might even do site visits, do a technical evaluation and fit analysis. Then you do the contract with a particular vendor, which is more like the phase 2 part of it still in the contract side. On the implementation, you formulate the project, you develop the data migration strategy, you do the process redesign and optimization of the process redesign, and then you start turning the wheels on the change management and the communication. Phase 4 would be like once the implementation is being done, you look at the configuration, you do the customization, you do the data migration, you do the user training, you do the integration testing. I mean, the list goes on and on. But at the end of the day, there are certain critical success factors that you have to look at. One is that the CEO must always champion the project and resolve organizational resistance. You need that backup. You need to have dedicated project resources. So when you're talking about key team members, you need 50% dedicated time allocation in order for the project to succeed. And then the process redesign, the companies have to be willing to redesign and revisit their current processes and kind of map it to the ERP or vice versa to some extent. You have to have a comprehensive training plan. And that training plan is very important in terms of establishing the success later on for the company as a whole. So essentially, there are certain common implementation pitfalls. What happens is while you're doing that, there's scope creep that comes in. People start adding functionality during implementation. There's customization overload. If there's too much modification, excessive modification, it can break all the upgrade paths. You're not testing properly. Insufficient validation before going live. That creates a problem. And then poor data quality. If you migrate bad data into the new system, then you have a real problem. And so it is one of the most impactful technology decisions your company will make when you decide to go the ERP route. So give it the right love and attention, and you'll have a scalable platform for growth. And if you get it wrong, it'll cost you plenty in terms of time and in terms of money. Focus on the business process improvement first. Technology selection is only second. The companies that succeed with ERP, they treat it as a business transformation project. It's not a software implementation. So in the next episode, we'll dive into specific ERP systems available in the market, from enterprise giants like SAP to modern cloud solutions like NetSuite and emerging AI-powered platforms. Thank you, and I will see you in video 2 on the ERP systems. We'll talk about ERP system landscapes. Take care. Bye-bye.